Hi guys! Today I wanted to make a video. First of all, hopefully it's not too much background noise here. I had to do the video in our living room, and because we don't have any furniture to sit on besides the couch, so I'm actually on the couch backwards. But yeah, so basically I wanted to do a video on just talking about depression a bit. Right now is we're in it actually is just the second day of fall, and a lot of people often experience seasonal depression. I mean people just experience depression all the time, so I just kind of wanted to talk on that a little bit because I definitely deal with my own bouts of depression. I don't know if it's actually seasonal or if I just get hit every couple to few months, because it just happens, and I'm just very very prone to becoming depressed, and kind of being in a dark place is weirdly comforting for me. I don't know how to explain it. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to speak on that whole thing and see if it could help anyone that goes through any of that. I don't want anyone to think that I'm going to give great advice or have the answers to dealing with depression, but I just want to talk about it just so someone feels less lonely, because I feel like that is completely synonymous to being depressed, is the feeling of loneliness and feeling like you're the only one going through it, even though you subconsciously kind of know you're not. Your intellect knows that you're not the only one, but your heart cannot decipher that. So for me, in my depression, it's definitely happens, like I said, every couple months. I'm always just seemingly going to a place where I'm just feeling almost defeated and things like that. And I don't know if it's actually seasonal or if it's just, like I said, just comes about every season. Yeah, it's very interesting because I experienced my first big depression when I was in the 6th or 7th grade, I want to say, and my mom and my brother noticed, so they thought it was a good idea to volunteer me to go to therapy, which I had no idea I was going. They literally took me. Well, my mom was like, we're gonna go somewhere, and then we're in the car, and then as we're in the car she's like, well, we're gonna have you talk to someone because we're worried about your whatever, and I'm just I don't want to talk to anyone. And you're well, I was not, in my mind I was rebellious middle schooler just because I listened to System of a Down. I thought I was really sticking it to someone, but I was definitely in a dark place, having to do with my parents breaking up and stuff like that. And that was the first time I actually blamed myself for something that wasn't my fault, and then that's how that happened, whatever. So that happened, and then of course at that age especially, I thought, my mom thought I was crazy because you don't, well, I didn't grow up with the dialogue of therapy or things like that, and what you see on TV is if you speak to a therapist it's because you have problems. So I just kind of related that to a negative thing, which now I have not been to therapy as an adult, but because of lack of time and just really not well, not making the time to do it. But I called Kaiser up hey, what's your mental health department number, because I need to make an appointment, so I have the number to eventually do that, because I definitely want to, and hopefully my insurance helps out with some of that, because it can be expensive. But I have friends that go to therapy and it definitely helps. For me, I feel with my where my darkness sets in, it's I don't know how to shut the little voice off and stop delving deeper into the sad place, and because I feel I've learned to be positive surface wise, because, or I don't know, I'm not like a completely negative person, but when it comes to myself, I can really be, and like I'm always like trying to like be happy and smile and things like that, but I feel like it's definitely a surface defense mechanism thing that I've acquired over the years, just because of certain childhood things that have gone on, and just never wanting to be the person that is clearly like going through some shit and like clearly like a drag, you know, like I've never wanted to be that person, so I've just like swept all my issues underneath the rug for so long. I don't know, you think you can just do that and you think you can just like ignore everything, but when you're an adult, I'm 26 right now, and literally like I'm just like so triggered by so many things in my childhood, like just, you know, like even though it shouldn't like fully matter, it definitely, there are things I need to deal with, and I feel like I cannot do that by myself because it has not worked yet. Maybe I also need to start reading more, because that was helpful for me when I was at a happier point in my life, like overall. But yeah, but I still am very much happy. I see my neighbor, hopefully I don't scare them, because you're talking to y'all and they're gonna be like, what is she doing? And we don't have curtains up yet, so hey y'all, welcome to my channel. One part of like the depression that I experience is because of just the societal pressures of like being established, and you know, like when you're younger you like envision yourself at a certain age, even though obviously you have no real like perception of what like adults are actually going through, because you're a child and you're like, oh, 25 is so like you're so grown. But yeah, like little things like that come into play, where it's just like the idea, and plus social media, like there's people obviously my age, it's like the comparisons of like what other people seem to be doing, and just me not being as established as I want to be, and kind of spreading myself thin as far as like just doing so many things to, you know, survive and become, you know, the adult that I want to be. It's just, there's so much to do. I just like try to do it all, and it just seems like as I'm doing these things I end up in the same place, you know, like, so it's like every few months I'm like, okay, like what's changed? And when it's not much, it really messes me up, and it just really takes a toll. And like I was saying before, I kind of keep like weaving in and out of this, but I have like kind of like a negative narrator up there a lot of the time, and I need the help, and I need to retrain, because that's another thing. When I was reading a lot of self-help books, it's really about reprogramming your train of thought, like your brain, like rewiring what you were taught, what you think, you know, was right. Like you have to kind of retrain yourself, because a lot of it's just like bull crap, you know, and especially in the society that we live in, it's just so like superficial, and we don't talk about a lot of the things that we should be talking about. Well, at least I feel like there's more of an open dialogue on just like being like woke, or like being more self-aware, and like self-help and all these things that you don't really grow up hearing about, because now we have the internet, which is like both a blessing and a curse, I feel. But I've had like only like 2 or 3 like major depressions that were like sort of crippling, you know, but even having like the little like breakdowns or whatever it is every few months that I definitely have, it's like I know that I need to try to better myself for it. It's so interesting because I've been, you know, present on the internet for years now, and the older I get, the less I care about looking at like Instagram and stuff. And like I definitely have a Finsta where with all my friends, and it's only my friends that I follow, and I don't follow like any like, you know, famous people or, you know, anyone that's not like a really good friend of mine, and that's already like way better like for my mental health I've noticed, than like if I'm like on freaking my regular Insta where I follow just a bunch of people, which yeah, it can definitely, and I've noticed a difference since I've made my Finsta, that like it's a completely different vibe. Like obviously you're still exposed to like all the people, you can look at their profiles, but to just constantly see it on your feed is insane, and you don't really take that into account. But yeah, so yeah, I've just been on it for so many years, and I used to be so into like posting all the time and whatever, but I'd much rather like, it's just like Instagram's such a like instant gratification, like easy, just too like, it's just too simple, and we're just so accustomed to just like that quick visual like satisfaction, you know, and like YouTube is just definitely more important, and I feel more just like it's important to have a connection, you know, like with people, and even if it is like through the internet. But yeah, I literally, I don't know. I would like to hear about like how you guys feel about this topic. I just try to like tell myself that it's like, it's all temporary. The feelings are all temporary. Even if they come back, it's fine. Like we are allowed to, you know, feel good and just acknowledge how we feel, like even if it's bad, and then like just try to make ourselves feel better with it however we want, like, you know. And a lot of times when I notice that I'm like becoming really depressed, I will try to like tell myself, okay, you need to get out of the house, number one, like, because girl, I will be in the bed just watching Netflix, suppressing my feelings, like, and that's not a good way to cope. Like I've noticed that I can have an unhealthy relationship with Netflix. My boyfriend even told me the other day, he's like, you can't hide behind Netflix. I was like, that's deep. And then I pressed play. No, I'm just kidding. So yeah, it's really important to acknowledge like how you're feeling. Try to like figure out why you're feeling it. If you can't, just like, I don't know, read a book. Like literally like escaping yourself sometimes is like the way to do it. Not like in an unhealthy like go get all blacked out or something, but definitely just like exercise your brain in a more positive way than what you're doing to yourself. So yeah, I'll definitely keep you guys updated on the developments of my therapy that I will be loving to go to. And yeah, I just wanted to talk and, you know, a little quick update. I mean, it wasn't really an update, it's just like my life, but yeah, so hopefully this is already long, so I'm gonna stop now because it's too long. Okay, love you, see you guys later. Hopefully, I don't know, I just wanted to talk. Okay, love you. Okay, bye.